Would you pick your haircut by flipping a coin? My friend Levi did, and it landed on burst fade. So I started by separating the top from the sides. And I cut in my shape with my scissors using block graduation. Holding my fingers tight against the scalp like that, I'll be able to flick my number 2 guard later right up into it. And using my brat green comb, I section some hair away on the back and continue cutting in my shape where I want it to blend into the fade. And Levi wanted a pretty short haircut, so I'm going to use this for a guide to cut the length on the back as well. Levi hadn't changed his style in a while, and he told me that he was excited to try something that was quite a bit shorter than what he normally does. So moving on to the top, I split it down the middle and comb it out to either side, and I find my length on the sides, and I use that as a guide to connect the top. I also chose the length of the fringe off of that guide, and then I used the length of the fringe as a guide for the layers. And I will take turns on each side combing that mohawk section over, and then using horizontal sections to finish my layers. To begin the styling process, I chose Jelly by Colton King. It has very clean ingredients, including pink Himalayan salt, to help us enhance texture. Since Levi's hair is really short now, I only used 1 pump, because on hair this short, 2 pumps would probably make it a little too dry. And then I use my diffuser to get all of his hair dry before moving on to the clipper work. The back is harder to see the weight line, so I like to use my comb to block it, so that way I don't cut into it, but I'm just starting with my number 2 to debulk, and after I have all that hair out of the way, I'm going to use the curve of his hairline to help me create that arching bald line for his burst fade. While I have my trimmer in my hand, I'll just go ahead and line some stuff up so I don't have to grab it again later. And previously, Levi was doing his beard line pretty low, so I asked him to grow it out for this video. So I checked how much hair would come off with my number 2 and determined that was going to be a good length to use. And then I'll go ahead and knock out my 0 guard section on the beard and the hair. I do the same section on both to prevent myself from switching back and forth between guards a bunch of times unnecessarily. I'm not very fast in general, so little stuff like that really helps me save some time. So I did my number 1 section and then detailed with my half guard in between. And then I pull out my blending scissors to really make sure that weight line separating the scissor work from the clipper work is blended. I just elevate it with my comb and chip away at the ends as I'm moving up, just removing a little bit at a time until it's blended. After lining up his beard, I'll finish off the style with some hair powder by Colton King. I like that I can double up on 2 texture products from them, and it still doesn't leave my client's hair feeling too dry. But now here is Levi before and after. Let me know what you think of Levi's new look in the comments. Did the coin make the right decision for him? I think it did, because this really suits him. Also, drop a comment if you feel like you learned something, and let me know what it was. To check out the scissors I'm using, go to nagamakishears.com, use discount code BREAK at checkout. You can also find it at the link in my bio. You can also find the link to check out the Colton King products there. I'll get out of your hair now.